Welcome all. Today I am going to talk about the evidentiary value of dying declaration in Indian scenario. Dying declaration is a written or verbal statement or made in the form of gesture based on pertinent facts made by a person who died explaining the cause of his death. Section 32 subclause 1 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 recognizes the principle of latent mortem, which means words before death. The Supreme Court of India has given various governing principles to decide on the case of dying declaration. Number 1. There is neither rule of law nor of prudence that dying declaration cannot be acted upon without corroboration. If the court is satisfied that the dying declaration is true and voluntary, it can base conviction on it without corroboration. Number 3. That the court has to scrutinize the dying declaration carefully and must ensure that the declaration is not the result of tutoring, prompting, or imagination. The deceased had enough opportunity to observe and identify the assailants and was in a fit state to make the declaration. Number 4. Where the dying declaration is suspicious, it should not be acted upon without corroborative evidence. Number 5. Where the deceased was unconscious and could never make any dying declaration, the evidence with regard to it shall be rejected. Number 6. A dying declaration which suffers from infirmity cannot form the basis of conviction. Number 7. Merely because a dying declaration does not contain the details as to the occurrence, it is not to be rejected. Number 7. Normally the court, in order to satisfy whether the deceased was in a fit and mental condition to make the dying declaration, look up to the medical opinion, but where the eyewitness has said that the deceased was in a fit and conscious state to make the dying declaration, the medical opinion cannot prevail. Number 9. If the deceased remained alive for a long period of time after the incident and died while recording the declaration, it may show that the condition was not overtly critical or precocious when the declaration was recorded. Where the prosecution version differs from the version was given in the dying declaration, the said declaration cannot be acted upon. Lastly, I would like to quote Shakespeare from his play King John, where he said that why should I then be false, since it is true that I must die here and live hence.